What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV, where the Raw fights start.
Round one.
You know it. Let's get this popping. How y'all doing out there? Listen, it's been a while since I've been wearing the Cardis. You know what I mean? Trying to get some of this computer light out of my face and shit. Eyes getting bad. So, you know, but shit. Gotta read these comments today, right? So, fight fans, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to discuss. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have a segment here at Round One Sports TV. We're gonna go round by round. We're gonna start off round one, round two, round three, round four. And each round we're gonna talk about individual fighters and fights that you want to talk about. So that way we don't jump around to all fights. We're gonna maintain the conversation on individual fighters until we move on to the next set of fighters we want to talk to, which we would say round two. So now that you know how we're gonna work it here today, let's start this episode. Don't forget to hit that like button as you're coming in. Smash that like button for me. And like always, let's get right into this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Let's hop right in. So round one. We're going to start off this segment, round one, right now. We're going to talk about one of the biggest topics that's trending around all on YouTube, which is Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. I want to know what you guys think about this situation right now that's occurring, and how you guys view Teofimo Lopez and his antics, even more so today, right? Apparently, Teofimo Lopez went and called Turki Ali Sheikh himself a dictator, right? And he didn't take too fond of that, seeing that I guess behind the scenes there was rumors that there was going to be a Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney fight. And now the fight seems to be at jeopardy because, once again, why? Not because of Teofimo Lopez's performance inside the ring, but because of his antics and his mouth. How many times have people told Teofimo Lopez, bro, you need to cut that shit out, right? A lot of times. And Teofimo Lopez doesn't seem to be getting the hint. He just keeps running his mouth, running his mouth, running his mouth. And it seems to be costing him a lot in his career. Some people might say bad publicity, good publicity, it's all publicity. What's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in. Right? Brandman subs. Usyk? Maybe you saw my short and you saw me have to take apart Usyk real quick, right? Against Naoya Inoue. And maybe you looked at it and was like, you know, how could I say these things about Usyk or whatever, being the best heavyweight champion, what they're advertising him to be? Reality is much simpler than that. If you just take the time to look at Usyk's impressive run, you would quickly realize it's not that impressive, Usyk's run. Now, I don't want to ever have to destroy any of the fighters to compare him to other fighters, but when I'm pushed in the corner to a fighter like such as Naoya Inoue, which is obviously the greatest talent we have in our generation, a lot of boxing fans don't want to accept it. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, Usyk is, supposed to be the best heavyweight since what? Since what? I don't even think he's the best heavyweight in our era right now. Tyson Fury beat more people than he did. Anthony Joshua did some shit. The Klitschko's, they might still be in Usyk's era. I think Usyk was in cruiserweight when Klitschko was doing his thing. So it's typically the same era. So there's no way on God's green earth I could ever think that Usyk is the greatest heavyweight on the planet by fighting 5 people. That's all he fought in the heavyweight division. Maybe 6, I think. Yeah, to Teixeira, right? Did he fight Teixeira? Right? He fought 2 small fights. Anthony Joshua, Dubois, Tyson Fury. That's what he fought. And he didn't beat Dubois when Dubois made a quick turnaround in his career. He beat the Dubois that we was doubting. Usyk. That's the Dubois he beat. He beat the quitter version of Dubois. The one that quit against Joe Joyce with a fractured orbital bone. He beat that version. The Dubois, that's the man that's today, he's a different fighter. And he proved it by showing the world that Usyk had not once but 2 cracks at Anthony Joshua. He didn't knock him out. Dubois brutally knocked him out. He didn't knock out Tyson Fury neither. Tyson Fury's coming off his last fight, going into the Usyk fight. He fought Francis Ngannou that made his debut and went the distance and almost lost that fight. That's the version of Tyson Fury Usyk beat. He didn't beat hot, young Tyson Fury that got the 3 belts that was coming up. He beat Las Vegas, cocaine-induced, alcohol-induced Tyson Fury. That's who Usyk beat. He didn't beat that Tyson Fury that had the 3 belts. He beat the Tyson Fury that came out of the Batmobile, dressed as Batman, doing all those stupid antics. That's the Tyson Fury he beat. So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh shit, Usyk, woohoo! You're the greatest heavyweight since freaking Muhammad Ali. Yeah, right. Lennox Lewis would wipe him down. I think Riddick Bowe would wipe him down. Evander Holyfield in his prime just might wipe him down. Big Bo will wipe down Usyk. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. He's just in a good era of heavyweight boxing, Usyk. There's nobody there. They got to keep fighting themselves over and over and over and over and over and over and over. The top guys. Fucking Turkey Al-Sheikh was trying to get Klitschko's ass out of bed. That's how bad the heavyweight division's doing. There's no heavyweight. There hasn't been in like 25 years, bro. Deontay Wilder made a living in heavyweight division with one hand. Yo, that's how trash that division is. It's just trash, bro. We need help. In the heavyweight division, we need help. These European dudes is shining right now. Like, because I explained this to you guys earlier in my live, that in America, our big guys got different sports to go into, bro. Our big guys go to the NFL, go to the baseball, go to fucking basketball. They don't got to punch their face in. In the UK, there's not that many options. It's either soccer or boxing. What you doing? Or rugby. Rugby, soccer, or boxing. There's no NFL out there. There's basketball leagues. I think there might be minor league baseball leagues around the world or whatever. But ain't no fucking real top-notch level sports shit. So all our big guys, we got too many sports to go to. That's why we don't got no real heavyweight champions. Yeah, that's why it's going to be for a long time. The heavyweight champion is going to belong in their hands unless we get some kid that's just birthed to box. You don't want to do no other sport. That's when we get, some good ones here and there. What's up, guys? Let me get to your chats. What's up? Oh, I can put him over here. Let me put him over here. I can see him better. What's up, Carlos? Yeah, I see you. I see you now. Diana, I hope Naoya at least retires at 40 fights or more. 40 fights or more for Naoya Inoue. You hope he retires at that. How far is he right now? Right? Uh Shit. You know, I always said this. Naoya Inoue was never going to catch Floyd in the 50 and 0. Naoya Inoue, in order to retire over 40 fights, he's going to need 10 more fights, right? Because right now he's currently 30 and 27, right? He only not knocked out 3 people. On average, if you were to uh think about 10 fights, right? Naoya Inoue is the most active champion in all of boxing right now, currently today. He is the most active. In fact, he's the most active with all 4 belts, right? Okay. So he's coming up on his 5th title defense for all 4 belts, which is remarkable. In the history of the super bantamweight division, there has never been a unified, undisputed world champion. Never in the history of bantamweight. Okay. So with every step and with every fight Naoya takes, he's really writing history. Okay. All right. So since he won the last 2 belts from Marlon Tapales, he defended all 4 belts against Luis Pantera Nari, TJ Doheny, right? Yi Young Kim, and Roman Cardin. That's the 4. This fight right here will make 5 with MJ Akmadalia. So that fight right there with MJ is a very important fight. It would be his 5th. He would surpass Saul Canelo Alvarez. He would also surpass Terrence Crawford if he scores the knockout. Because Terrence Crawford and Naoya Inoue were tied in a world title fights with 11 consecutive knockouts or stoppages until Terrence Crawford came into Ismail Makhachev, right? So he's gonna break some more records at that point in his career. And in order to get him 40 fights on average, if he fights 4 times a year, that's 2.5 years more onto his career. He is currently right now 32 years old. He'll be roughly, you might be able to get that out of him. We just might get, that's not fucking impossible. 10 more fights, 32 years old, at his pace. At some point, I think he's going to slow down. He's not going to fight 4 times a year. Maybe he'll fight 3. Who knows? But the last 2 years in a row, consistently, he has fought 4 times a year. Naoya Inoue. And that's his goal, to fight another 4 times this year in the calendar year. Now, I'm not sure if he keeps this going for the next year, but the 10 fights might not be out of like the realm of possibility. Just because you play football or basketball won't mean you translate over to boxing. Okay, you must have misunderstood what I said. Okay. What I mean by American guys not being able, what I mean by American guys, they have more options. They'll go play basketball, football, baseball as they age. You see, even if they even sparred or box, they just for height, they would rather go to the NBA or go to football or go to baseball. They're big dudes over there. Yeah, have you ever seen what Judge looks like for the Yankees? That's a real life giant in the flesh playing a sport disguising as a human. Have you ever stood next to uh Aaron Judge for the New York Yankees? Yo, his face is like this big, bro. It's like that. In real life, his face is like this big. He's a gigantic sized man. He's huge. Like, I was looking at him and I was fucking stunned. I was like, God damn, that's a big dude. No wonder he's cranking these home runs. He could probably hit a home run with one hand. Yo, he's a giant trying to pretend like a human. That's what he is. And he could be a boxer, but he chose to be a baseball player. Why? Because baseball's going to play him a contract for $175 million for like 6 minutes. Play 6 minutes, we'll give you $1 billion. Like, the fucking contracts are ridiculous. Why would these guys want to hop in the ring and punch in their brains? The American dudes. They got too many sports. And it doesn't mean just because you're good at basketball, you would be good at boxing, right? That don't mean that. You know how many boxers look awkward on a basketball court or trying to throw a football? They look awkward as hell. That's not their sport. But from a little kid, that's what they got to pick. That's what I'm saying. In the UK, there's not a lot. In the UK, what they do in the UK over there in Britain and all that side of the world, they drink beer, watch soccer, and fight. They're constantly fighting with their rivalries, with their rivals. And most of those places don't got guns. So they good with their hands. They love a good fight. After a good fight, they pick up all the chairs, sing a song, drink some more beer. La, 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 la. That's how they do. Then they become like tough men in the street. They go into fighting, into boxing. It's a different world out there. If you haven't been outside of your house, if you haven't traveled into different foreign lands and countries, the world is bigger and a lot different in every place you go to. They just different. You know what I'm saying? Like, out there in the UK, there's blacks, white people, all mixed in. And ironically, they don't seem to have that problem. Only when you come to America. Now we you're white. You gotta tell a black UK dude, yo, you know you black, right? Right? Yo, them dudes out there, they brothers, all of them. All of them. They fight, party, cheer, all together. You ever see how they treat Anthony Joshua, Derek Teixeira? It doesn't seem like there's racism like that out there. They just fuck with everybody like people. At least that's what I see. I don't see that shit. They show them dudes love, man. Out here, man, we're different, man. We're just Americanized. That's all, man. You know, I don't know what to say about that. But that's what I mean about that. Alvarez, God bless us, brother. In Jesus' name, I got you. Got you. Dennis is still hospitalized? He's still hospitalized after he fought Pedro? I gotta go check that out, bro. Yo, them dudes, they just freaks, bro. I'm telling you, until you see Aaron Judge in real life, you're not gonna know what I'm talking about. Them commercials, and yo, you ever notice when Aaron Judge catches a home run over the wall? That motherfucker literally just goes like this. Ain't that wall supposed to be like 9 feet tall? Then padded so when they jump, they're taller than the guys that are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". You ever notice that with Aaron Judge? Yo, his gloves like this big. It's fucking ridiculous. Yo, I think one time he was running in, and you know, like the bat boy, he collects the bats and the gloves. I think Aaron Rodgers threw this glove at the kid, and the kid disappeared. It was like, yo, he covered him. Yo, that's a real life giant living amongst us. Yo, them dudes is huge, man. Boxing is such a dangerous sport. Every sport is dangerous. There is no other sports in the world that are safe or guarantee your life. For one, NASCAR, you can flip that car and snap your neck at any time. Any left turn in NASCAR, it could be a pileup, and that'll be your last pileup. In a basketball court in the NBA, I saw Lewis walk right down the court, have a heart attack in this Boston Garden, and die on the court. Okay? I've seen NFL players get hit in the chest from Buffalo, get a heart attack, and ambulance off a football field. And I've seen that more than once. I've seen people, men and women, give their life to a sport. But I got to be honest with you. I got to be honest. If there was anything in life I would give my life to, would be the sport that I love. Chasing my dreams. And if I had it my choice any other way, I would give my life to the sport I believed in. There would be no other way. If it came to my tragic end, may it be doing something I love. Not walking down the street, getting hit by a bus, falling in a manhole or a piano landing on my head. There are millions of ways to die in this world. Subriel Matias and Mad Max Duracek had a bout. Mad Max Duracek lost his life on that night. And I always told Subriel when I met him behind the scenes, I said, you need to live for Mad Max Duracek. You think he fought you tooth and nail to pass away from them injuries for you to give up on your career, Subriel? You need to fight for Mad Max, because every victory is for him too. If you keep losing, Subriel, he died to that. Show him you could be a champion. When you wrap that belt around your waist, you also wrap it around his waist. That's your fallen brother. That's how I would see it. I don't feel sorry for the men and women that tragically lost their lives in the sport they love. I feel a little sorrow, but I feel happiness. Because at least they were doing what they wanted to do. You could walk outside and get struck by lightning while you're the heavyweight champion of the world. And life was in front of you. And it was cut short by a lightning bolt. Would that be fair? We know what we sign up for when we sign up to box. It's in the gyms, it's in the coaches' faces, it's in the men and women that are standing in front of it. You can't ignore it. We know we're not designed as humans to take multiple punches in our face for 12 rounds for 36 minutes. It's probably one of the most dangerous sports on the planet. But men like me, women, there's certain women, certain men, we need this. I need this. You don't want me at 17 years old hanging around on your street corner. And all I want to do is fight. I ain't got nowhere to take out my aggression. Oh shit, they invented a sport called boxing. Where do they do that at? Down here. What do I got to do? Put on these gloves. Then what? Punch him in the face. Sign me up. You don't want a gang of me hanging around on your corner because I ain't got nothing to do. There are men that are born to fight. There are gladiators. We're not heroes in a sense. Most of us are not even good people. We're fighters, man. We're not going to say the slickest shit when we don't have a perfect one-liner to save the world. What we choose to do is punch our brains out. We find comfort in it, in the art of fighting. And I need it. I need it. It doesn't shut off in my head. I wake up, I think of something, I saw a fight, I play the moment over in my head, and I say, he could have did this instead of that. Then I'll go into my little fucking war room over here I got on the side, and I'll practice that move. I'll just keep practicing it. I'll study film. I keep studying film. I try to get to the target faster. I try to see if I don't flinch, if I don't do this in certain situations. I can't turn it off. I need this. So boxing may be a tough sport, but it is a sport. Unless you want more of these kids out there running around with nothing to do, support the sports. At least it provides them for a way out in some people's situations. I've met rich boxers, like boxers' sons that were rich. They were like, oh, you got a silver spoon in your mouth. Kid turns around and says, yeah, I got a silver spoon in my mouth. I already got money and I'm still fighting. So that lets you know that I'm a fighter. Because I don't do it for the money. I'm already rich. I'm doing it because I want to fucking punch your face in. And you look at them kind of rich dudes, you're like, you're not a spoiled rich kid, are you? There's those tough rich kids out there. Family, mom and dad had a few bucks to put them through karate classes, some boxing classes. You know what I mean? Fighting comes from all walks of life. I don't buy into that shit. Oh, you're a rich kid, you can't fight. No, that doesn't work that way. Fighting comes from within here. I've seen men take massive ass whoopings because they had the courage and the will to fight, and they had that drive like, come on! They just weren't trained. So all they did was get their ass kicked, but you could see how tough they were. If that man someone taught him how to put his punches together, he'd be dangerous. He'd be a real force because you could already see his fighting spirit. He just don't know how to put it together. I've met thousands of guys like that. I've trained hundreds of them, you know, and that's what fighting's about, man. It's truly beautiful, the art of fighting. You know, even if you're not going to be a professional or have amateur fights or anything, it's good to train just in case one day you got to defend yourself. Stay in shape. Plus, it keeps you in shape. That's why I do it. I do it now. I don't compete. I'm not no, I'm a little past that, but I got one good one left in me, bro. I got one good left. Don't walk upon me, because I might just give it to you. Right? And you know, but I try to stay in shape like that. Yeah, definitely. My youngest brother, Nelson, rest in peace, was in sparring what? Uh wow. All right, let me just see if I was reading this right. My youngest brother, Nelson, rest in peace, was a sparring partner for Tim Austin and John Tapali. Wait till I tell you about them both. And my brother had his way with both of them. Wait till I tell you. Yo, I want to talk about it, puppy. Yeah, listen. Yo, as a matter of fact, I'm do you all a favor tonight. Just gonna drop the link in the chat right here. You guys want to come up and share a story or anything, be respectful. Okay. We don't have to yell at each other, swear at each other. I respect everybody's opinion. You got something to say about a boxer or anything, you can even come up here. Usyk's better than me. Oh, yeah, anyway. So, okay, that's the way you feel. I got to respect it. I'm not going to sit here and attack you or debate you on everything because I believe that we all are entitled to our personal beliefs and feelings and the way you see it. So, I'm going to go ahead and drop down the link right here. Like I said, with respect, we can talk. Understand? Anything other than that, I'll boot you, ban you. You won't be on my platform again. You understand? All right. Yeah. What's up, Carlos? How you doing? Oh shit, I'm way down here. Let me put your messages up. I'm reading them. I'm like, I've seen these before. I love watching every sport, even golf, but boxing is my number one sport. Think boxing is a sport you can officially allow for brutal fights. That's why people love it to see it. Well, I tell you what, I got a gentleman in the chat. I see you there. I'm gonna be right with you, brother, in a second. Let me just finish this sentence. Um, the bare knuckle matches, bro. That shit, that's a meat grinder of a sport, I think. Now let me invite this gentleman in right here.
Okay.
Hold up. I wanna bring you side to side, give you equal. How you doing, puppy?
Hey, brother, brother Edwin, right?
Yes. ¿Cómo está?
Man, I just want to say that I love the way you roll, Papa. Okay,
Thanks, man. Thank you.
listen,
Thank you.
them guys that be talking trash on the boxing voice.
Yeah.
Listen, half of them guys don't know what they talking about, Papa.
Yeah, I know. I
They
know.
don't
Half
know.
of they're there for tone for the music. You know, the
Yeah, but
music dudes.
a mí no me gusta el abuso así, brother. No me
Sí,
gusta,
claro.
no me gusta.
No, pero
Pero,
nosotros tenemos que tener más class
yeah,
que
yeah,
ellos, ¿entiendes? Y
yeah.
a veces no vamos por ese camino que ellos nos llevan a arrastrarnos, a tratarlo, a usar los nombres de nosotros, para, tú sabes, para ponerlo abajo. A veces nosotros tenemos que ser mejor que ellos.
Yeah, and Gordo ese, I want to say that guy Two Tone. I'm feeding my mother. She's 80 years old.
Mhm.
She's right here. She can't move out of bed, so I take care of my
God
mother.
bless you. God bless you. I
Thank
do the
you,
same with my grandfather.
thank you. Mira, pero that guy Two Tone me cae muy pesado. But we're not going to
Yeah.
talk about him.
Yeah.
But
Talk
that's
to
what
me.
I got to say about him.
Yep.
But I want to tell you about myself. I'm 60 years old.
Yep.
I started boxing in 1978. I'm from Violin, New Jersey.
Okay.
Richie Cates came out of Violin, New Jersey.
Okay.
You know Richie fought Victor Galindez back in the day. You don't know who
Nah.
Richie Cates is?
I
Oh,
might, I might, I might like I know a lot of guys from my father. My father fought in New Jersey and Philly, Jose Montalvo. My father, and then he
and what years he fought?
my 68 78.
That's when I fought. I fought the 79 Golden Glove, my
Hold
first
up,
one.
hold on. Okay. If you fought your golden gloves then, right? Then my father's a little bit older than you, because my father was about to turn pro then.
Okay.
And he had got shot coming out of a bar in Philly.
Yeah,
So
I heard.
that's what ended his career. He lived, but he couldn't box no more. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because of
right.
the injuries and stuff like that. But yeah, I won my golden gloves in Massachusetts
Oh,
and Boston and Springfield.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, listen, that's
he,
our
had a,
dude.
he had a brother named Robbie Sims. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
so
Hagler used to train out there in Brockton.
Brox, and he had them guys, the Petronelli brothers, were
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Pero we have a guy that came out of Vine, Mario Maldonado. They inducted him to the Atlantic City Hall of Fame. Lo
Okay.
que pasó with him, he fought the Golden Gloves when I fought in '79. That was my first goal. I was only 14, but he had
Okay.
a first round knockout. He turned pro, and what happened is he started partying in the beginning. So if you go on YouTube, find Mario Maldonado against Tony Ayala.
Okay.
Remember Tony Ayala?
Italo
Uh,
Ayala. Who doesn't remember him?
Listen, you're not going to believe what I want to tell you right now.
What's up?
Through my journey,
Yep.
I had a lot of. I'm a Benavides type of fighter. I was always in the gym. I did all. When I went to competition, there was hardly no fights. So
Right.
I lied. I would lie. My last tournament was '87 in Pennsylvania, the Golden Gloves,
Mhm.
and I said I had 36 fights. I only had like 7 amateur fights my whole life. Because every
Yeah.
time I went, there was no fights for me.
Right.
They would match up the other guys and leave me hanging. But I won that. I won the district. Y me la robaron because the guy I fought had 86, 88 fights. He knocked out the Pan American champion. He was the Empire State Golden Glove champion. And I beat the shit out of him. Joe Frazier's gym. And the
Yeah.
crowd booed him. They booed him at the end. He had to leave the building. Okay,
Wow.
pero me la robaron. Then I stopped fighting like I was,
Okay.
I was supposed to have my first fight in Gleason Gym. But the
Yep.
thing is, I want to tell you, man, my little brother,
Yep.
he went to camp with Tim Austin. Lou Martinez from West Palm Beach, he lo mandó because my
Mm.
little brother knew Don King's son. So my little
Mm.
brother, man, he won like so many junior Olympics growing up. But then when he turned pro, he started screwing up too. But
Yeah.
listen what he did. He went to training camp with Tim Austin. And let me tell you something, man. What's that Gordo's name? Mayweather's the guy. What Mayweather guy that has the pad on his stomach, the big Moreno. What's his name? I got the name on the tip of my tongue.
Are you talking about Terrence Crawford, Bomac?
No, Mayweather. The Moreno. What's his name?
Not Roger Mayweather, or they were skinny.
No, the guy that
The big dude with that holds the body pad.
right, the one that fought in the amateur with Floyd. Then Floyd hired him. What's his name?
You got me today.
But look. When my little brother used to spar Tim Austin, he used to call Mayweather, and he used to say, "Pretty boy, I got the next champ. You gotta come. Mayweather never won. Look what happened. My little brother was sparring him, and the bell rang. My brother turned around, and Tim Austin sucker punched him from his back, boom, and broke my brother's nose. He started bleeding all over, and my little brother said, "Man, F that. I'm going back to West Palm." They were like, no, stay. We'll buy you new gear and we'll put you in a better hotel room. My little brother said, "Man, I'm out of here." So he went back to West Palm, right? And he told Lou what happened. And my little brother had his way with Tim Austin, man. Let me tell you, he did have. I'm not lying. Everything I love. My little brother, he's good. So may you rest in peace. So then, pasó como un minuto, and they said, "Yo, you want to go to camp with Tapia?" My brother said, "Yeah, I'm going to camp with Tapia." Now, Johnny Tapia and Tim Austin, they were champs and they were to unify, going back, but they never fought. So look what happened. Excuse me. Yeah. Ahora te la voy a dar, mami. Toma. Look what happened. I'm sorry.
It's okay, brother. Go ahead.
He went to camp with Johnny Tapia. My little brother, man, said, "Johnny Tapia." Let me tell you something. People don't know this. He was the nicest guy in the world. The nicest guy. Listen to me. Johnny Tapia took my brother to his house in the back. Listen, man, on everything I love, man. If anybody knows him, they'll tell you. He had a nice house. In the back, había un cuarto. And he told my brother, "They lock me up in here. When I go off, they lock me up."
Right.
So he gave my brother a lot of them weightlifting pants that you Velcro. So look what happened. Habían como 3 Mexicanitos sparring partners of my brother. My brother said they were hating on me. They told him that I was smoking cigarettes. They were hating. So one day they got done training, and my little brother, they were all sitting around the ring talking. My little brother said, "Yo, I want to do your treatment. I'll do your treatment, man." Huh? My little brother said, "Yo, you know who hits hard?" They were like, "Who?" He said, "Tim Austin." When he said that, yo, they thought my brother was a spy. Okay? He didn't know, man.
Yeah, you know how that is. Yeah, you say the wrong thing, they go,
Look what
that's
happened.
official. That's
Well,
official.
Johnny Tapia's wife was in charge. She told my brother, gear up. My brother said, no, we got done training already. No, gear up. What? So she put him to spar against El Mexicanito that was undefeated. Yeah, my little brother hit him one shot, and knocked him the fuck out, yo.
What?
The next day he was on a plane back to West Palm Beach.
Yep. You're gone.
That,
You got.
they thought
Yep.
they thought it was a spy. Dito, man, he didn't know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
But he said, man, they could have killed him, man, for that shit, you know.
I've
Pero,
seen a lot of fighters get set up like that in backdoored in gyms. You know, a good fighter that I knew coming up, Bobby Harris, got backdoored like that. Our champion out here, Jose Rivera, he was a good champion for Worcester. I still rock with him to this day and stuff. And we learned our lessons with that. There's footage of Bobby Harris in a boxing match getting brutalized on the ring, and the referee was doing his grocery list, like,
oh,
and he's over here getting killed. To this day, right now, Bobby, he has a speech impediment. He suffered brain damage in that fight.
damn.
Yeah, and they set him up, you know, and they do that a lot, you know, in boxing. You know how it is. Look at the story you're telling about your brother. They try to set your brother up. I see that every day. Don't be somebody's punching bag, and
Right.
don't always agree and be a yes man. If you see that guy and you know he's like the champion of the world, just be like, yo, I'm not on that level. And
Right.
sometimes people want to test themselves. I get it, but abusan de los chamaquitos,
Yes, you
abusan de
can.
ellos. You know,
I remember. Listen, I was in West Palm Beach. My little brother, he told me to go to. I ain't gonna lie. I was a heroin addict, and
Yeah.
and by the grace of God, I'm clean. I took care of my father. He passed away. My brother Stephen passed away 8 months later. Then my little brother Nelson just passed away like a year and a half ago. So I just got my
Streets
mother.
is tough. Streets
Yeah,
is tough, bro.
yes, man.
Yeah.
So now I got my mother. I take care of. But I went to West Palm Beach when Fernando Vargas was 19 years old. Listen, my
He
little
was
brother.
hot.
My
He
little
was
brother.
hot.
Yes, he was.
He
My
was
little
hot at
brother.
19.
Check this out. Check this
Yep.
out. My little brother, Roberto Garcia, fought Harold Warren for the world title. So he was training in West Palm Beach with Lou Duva. Lou Duva had everybody there. Galata, Tua, Larry Donaldson, is he? Yo, he had the one that knocked out Lennox Lewis and he lost his belt.
Riddick Bowe.
No, Moreno with the little thing in his face.
Oh, and knocked out Lewis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's his name?
He has a son. They train at Mayweather's. His son.
Yeah. Lewis knocked him out brutally.
Yeah.
He was a 15-minute champion.
Yes. Like something. But listen.
Wasn't it Rockman? What?
No,
Was it?
Rodman. Yeah.
Rodman, yeah.
He had them. I guess they were under to spar with Tua.
Yeah. Yo, Tua was a beast.
What?
That
Man,
fight.
he had legs the size of tree trunks, bro. I remember.
No. I try to tell people about Tua, right? In Igabuchi. When Igabuchi and Tua fought, that's heavyweight fighting right there.
Yes.
That's real heavyweight fighting.
Yeah. But look, Tua, look, they were all down there. My little brother sparred Roberto Garcia before he and you know what Fernando was doing? He was banging on the ring and saying, "Go West Palm Beach, go West Palm Beach."
Yeah.
And my little brother was sharp, man. But you know, the partying got to him, man. But he would have been a world champ, and me too. I would have been a world champ. My trainer Hassan, I don't know if you know, he came out in a movie with Halle Berry where she fights. There's a movie where she's a cage fighter. She was a Halle Berry.
Yeah. I didn't get to see I went to see that with my girl, and I fell asleep.
Good movie.
Is it?
Yeah. But the guy that does her cut, the cut man, he's only got a little clip. That was my trainer Hassan. He made it to Olympic back in the day. But he said it, man. He said, look, he got the gym. You know, Cornflake. Cornflake is fighting. Cornflake.
Cornflake. Yeah. Tommy Lamata. Cornflake.
Yeah, my little brother was best friends with him. They had a gym together, And my little brother had a ring built and everything. And Cornflake backed out, yo. Let
How
my
you
brother
think he's gonna
hang.
do? How you think he's gonna fare against the Charlo twin?
Man, you know what? I asked Hassan. You know, he started with Hassan. He was undefeated with Hassan. And then
Yeah,
he went with Chino and
right.
lost his when he left. Mommy, when he left Hassan, right? Mommy, I
Yeah.
got you. Give me one second,
Go ahead,
Papa.
take your time. Go ahead, go ahead. I
Yeah.
got you. I got you.
So look what happened. He when he left Hassan, you go, Mom. Oh, take off this. Take off this. I'm sorry, Mommy. Okay. Look, when he left Hassan,
Yeah,
he was undefeated with Hassan. He left
right,
Hassan and he lost his next fight, yo. He was
right.
undefeated with Hassan there. Oh, Hassan,
Y se
right?
fue
And
con
when
Chino.
he went and trained with this
Chino.
guy with Chino, you know Chino, right?
Chino, yeah.
Yeah.
He went
And
with him.
he lost the next fight, yo. But
Yeah.
Hassan says it too. I'm the best. I'm not trying, but Hassan said I'm the best fighter he ever had, and he tells everybody
Yeah.
to their face. He got a little gym out here. But listen,
Yeah.
Fernando, man, I know Zab Judah. Listen, I know everybody, bro. Everybody, Papa. I could
Yeah.
tell you stories. I could tell
Yep.
you stories, bro.
I I
I went up to Fernando Vargas in Lake Worth, Florida, because
yeah.
what had happened is, there you go, mommy. All right? Alexa, 10-minute medicine reminder. Mira, okay. Mommy, give me 10 minutes. Mommy, I take care of my mom. But look,
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Take your time.
I don't know if you ever heard of Kasim the Dream Uma.
Kasim the Dream Umar. It
Yeah,
rings a bell.
he fought this guy, damn. El
Rings a
Morenito.
bell.
El Morenito that had the title, and he beat Kasim. Kasim won the title. Um, and then he fought, I can't remember his name, un Moreno, from Alabama or something, por allá. Um,
Hmm.
but other than that, I went up to Fernando Vargas. He's 19 years old. He had a little brother, and I said, "Yo, you're gonna win the world title, man." Miró como si era loco. But
Yeah.
yeah,
What do you think about his kids? What do you think about his kids now? Fernando Vargas'
I
kid.
love them guys, yo. I
I,
love
li-
them.
I like El General Emilian. He's my favorite.
He's the most.
He's
Uh,
my favorite.
he's the best one out of them.
Yeah, I saw him live. I just went to Las Vegas. I was at the Naoya Inoue versus Roman Cardin fight. I
Yeah.
was there live.
Oh
Um,
boy, what a
uh,
fight!
oh, what a fight! I was there. I saw it
Oh
all.
my God.
And so I also got a chance to see Emilian Vargas in person.
Man.
And I got to see him, his speed. I got to see how he moves.
Oh,
And Fernando Vargas, I was trying to get to him, to talk to the father because the father's my generation. I want to talk to the dad. I like the kids, but I wanted to talk to the dad, but I didn't get a chance to get to him in the hotel because they were moving everybody along and I didn't have the floor access. So by the time I got around, he passed me.
Did
But
you had the light? You had the tag to go back.
no, I went as a fan.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
didn't have no credentials for that.
Right.
Yeah,
How
I
about
was just
where was Ness?
no. Ness came and picked me up the next day.
Oh,
Yeah, he didn't go to the fight. Ness didn't go to the fight to the
right,
fight. They don't like the little guys. They don't give him that much credit. Ness thinks you got to be a giant all the time. And then when I met Ness, right? So I come out. Ness is like, "Yo, I'm downstairs, right?" This motherfucker pulls up in a Batmobile, right? I'm
Ness?
like, "What the yeah, he pulls up in the Batmobile. He's got like a Corvette, but uno de los nuevos que parece como el Batmobile. It's like $130,000 car.
Right. They look like
the
Ferraris and shit.
yeah, they look like the Ferrari. He's sitting in the car, right? His motherfucker gets out, and I'm like, Ness,
Oh,
God damn, this motherfucker's like 7 something. He's tall as shit. Ness is like, he's about 6'6". In real life, he's like 6'6".
people. He's good.
And I'm 5'8". I'm 5'9". I'm on a tall day. When I got like my tall shoes on, then I'm 5'9". I'm 5'9", right? So like then that's when Ness came out. He took me to the Top Rank gym. We went in there. We saw a couple of the guys there and shit. We went out, hung out. 702 came out with us from the show. Estamos fumando marihuana ahí. 702 me trajo mucho marihuana. Yo le digo, pero ¿cómo tú me traes esto, cabrón? Si no me puedo montar en el avión con esto. Él me dijo, And me dice, pues fúmatelo. Y yo, we started rolling them one after another. Chacho, cuando Ness brought me to the airport, I was walking sideways.
Oh,
Like, yeah, I had a great time out there with Ness and them.
you slept on the way back.
Oh no, I don't never sleep on the airplane because my mind keeps running. I'm
Uy,
one
le
of those
tengo
guys.
miedo.
Chacho, cada vez que el avión hace así, yo me paniqueo.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's scary.
Y con all these planes lately recently in the news going down everywhere.
Remember Value Jet? Do you remember when the Value Jet went in the muck?
And then in Philly, just a few months ago, a plane went down. A commercial plane went down in Philly in the streets.
Oh
right
yeah,
there, like in downtown Philly. It blew up, bro. Yo, bro, I'm on the plane like this, B.
Yeah,
like, yo, I'm fucking.
It's scary.
Scared. I was nervous as fuck on that plane, bro. But as soon as we landed, you know, and then everything like snapped in my face. I was like, oh, I'm here, boom, gone. But yeah, and yeah, we had a great time out there.
You can't take weed in the airplane, even though it's legal.
You can take it, but you gotta pack it in your bag, and you gotta check it in. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You check it in on the thing, and they'll put it in the box under the plane. Whatever, boom.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you gotta like go through all that shit. But I'm old school, right? I'm 50 years old.
I'm 60.
You're 60, I'm 50, right? Okay. And in my head, I still think that I gotta hide weed from the cops. You know what I'm saying? In my head. Because it's just the way I think. So I got pulled over one day, and my wife is a manager in a weed dispensary, right? My wife makes great money. She's a great manager. She brings me samples of weed every fucking day. I'm always smoking. So when I got caught with it and the cop grabbed it out of my pocket, I was just like, look, officer, man, I bought it out the store, my bag, whatever. This motherfucker handed it back to me. That fucked me up. Like when he was handing me back the weed back in my hand, and I'm looking at him, and then it made me feel some kind of way. Now I'm looking over my shoulder, looking in the neighborhood who's watching me. Like I want to give the weed back to the cop. Like, nah, yo no soy chota, pero what the fuck is this? Méteme preso. Yo ain't preso, right? Like
right.
You feel me? And so
yeah,
I'm
man.
so programmed to think that way about it that it's a you know, it's bad. And then Ness and them, they're blazing on the fucking show. They're like, you know, and it messes me up because, you know, I feel all some kind of way, like, you know, I want to smoke, but I'm like, you know, is this not proper? But times are changing. And just like the sport of boxing is changing right now, tell me, what do you think about Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney situation? You know, do you think that's going to be a real fight possibility or?
You know what, man? Let me tell you something. I'm old school, Papa. Listen, if I were to be fighting now, I wouldn't be doing that freaking the shit that training they do, the
running.
You know, I run. I do my own calisthenics.
No.
I wouldn't have
the running in the ring. I said I was referring to them running in the ring.
Oh my God. That's terrible. I never took a back step. I always took listen, when I fought the Golden Gloves in 87, I trained in Austino Gym in Glassboro, New Jersey. I sparred a kid 150 pounds that was in the Golden Gloves. We didn't start the first round yet, you know, tournament. I sparred him, and you know what? His trainer took him out, yo. Yeah. I sparred him, the trainer said I was 114 pounds.
How about this? They try to compare. They try to compare these four horsemen to our four horsemen. What a joke!
No. But Teofimo, that Teofimo, man, he's racista, brother. ¿Qué le pasa a ese tipo?
La boca lo mata. La boca lo mata.
Listen. He's like a man, bro. You know what I don't like about boxing now, bro? It's like WWE, like they say, bro. Yeah. That is too much bullshit, bro. Look, back in the day, man, I used to go to Tropicana, to resorts, to the pro fights, you know, because I almost fought with Juan Laporte. Yo, he came down here to train when he beat Mario Miranda. He beat Mario Miranda at Madison Square Garden for the world featherweight title. Well, he was training in Vineland, bro, and staring at my boy Henry Soto. So he was sparring just guy in our gym that was medio
Mhm.
retardado, Robbie. And I told Robbie, yo, yo, yo. And one of the port, they started talking, yeah, but that's it. So Emil Griffith, his
Mhm.
trainer, you know Emil Griffith,
I've
right?
heard of him. Yeah.
He was the welterweight
Of
champion
the
of the
world.
world. Where he was, yeah, he was. He did some kind of history. He's in the Hall of Fame for something. But he was training Juan
Yep.
Laporte. Juan Laporte would get on the ropes. He would whip his ass with leather rope
Oh
jump
yeah.
ropes because he was lazy. Yeah, he would whip him with, and then they would give him orange juice between rounds, not water. So I told Robbie, yo, yo, you know, someone, Juan Laporte said, "Metete tú." I was 14 years old, like 90 pounds soaking wet. He said, "Man, fuck I told him, man, fuck
Yeah.
you. And I jumped up on the ring and Mario Maldonado, the middleweight, yo, man, well, he pulled me off. And then Emil came up to me and said, yo, when you fight the Golden Gloves? And I said, just shook it off, and that was it. But like back to Teofimo, um, and Devin Haney. Devin Haney is listen, man. I know that's Ness's boy and everything, but to fight Boots, forget it, bro. And Teofimo lo mata.
Devin.
Teofimo,
Devin.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
I think so. Listen, Devin Haney got hit.
Devin Haney está
Listen, he's
dañado,
not going to keep
papi.
the thing.
Between me and you know it.
Dañado
Say
for
it. Just
life.
say it. Just say it, bro. You know
For
it.
life. I
You
don't
know
know
it. I
why.
can see it.
Ness,
It was on the tip of your tongue. You know, you was gonna say it.
I love you, Ness. I love
Yeah.
you, Ness. I love what Ness
Yeah.
is doing. I've been watching Ness since it
Yeah.
started. I never called it. Listen, I don't call because I'll start talking and won't stop. And then he ding, ding. I ain't got no
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I take care of my mother. I don't work. I got to get food stamps. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm a man. I say it because I take care of my mom. I can't work. She needs 24 an hour, and she makes too much money from Social Security. Because when she works to get nurses and stuff to come here, she has to pay. You know, so I take care of my mother. But Devin Haney,
Yeah.
Tadañao, he would never be the
I'm
same.
not sure.
And if you hit him, listen, man. If you hit that poor kid, he man,
Okay.
it's not
Let
good.
me
It's not good.
talk to you about some fighters that you do recognize and do talk about because you were talking about the world champion Fernando Vargas in a situation with Fernando Vargas. Fernando Vargas lo dañaron when he fought against Felix Trinidad. When Felix
Yeah.
Trinidad put them left hooks on him, till this day, Fernando Vargas thinks he cheated or put something in his blood.
They should have stopped. They should have stopped the
Yeah.
fight a
No.
long time
Okay.
ago.
Okay. My honest assessment before you say anything, because I want to know what you think. I want to hear what you say, right, about that situation. But this is how I view it. First of all, Fernando Vargas was a young, talented fighter, way ahead of his time.
Yep.
They
Fighting on
they
USA. Fighting on the USA Tuesday
right.
night
They
fights.
rushed him along because of the talent that he was. He was only 19 years old fighting a world title fights against these grown ass men. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, he had Lou Duva main events.
yeah,
Main events. He was with
yeah.
main events.
And I think Fernando Vargas might have bit off a bit more than he can chew when he faced Felix Trinidad.
Yeah.
And Felix Trinidad,
Yeah.
I don't know too many fighters that got a monster check hook, a more smoother, more accurate. The way that Felix throws that left check hook is things of legends. So, you know, that's a perfect example of a fighter. After that fight was never the same. He was never the
Right.
same.
Right. Y that Judah se dañó
Yes.
también.
When Tim
When
Casa Zoo hit him with that, boop, and he stood up and he
Man.
told the guy, "Don't play with matches." the joke that
Man.
this dude did. If you know it, you know.
I, I'm good friends with his
Yeah.
father, yo. His father was a martial artist. And he had el otro gordo. Listen, we went to a go-go bar in West
Yeah.
Palm Beach with Zab Judah, and he froze
Yeah.
up. And I was like, yo, yeah, man, yeah, yo. I was supposed to hang out. He had Mike Tyson come down
Yeah.
there. And I was on dope, yo. I
It's
was
okay.
on
It's
dope.
okay. Go ahead.
And
Tell your story.
I was supposed to go and chill with them because his father was so cool with me, and I messed that up. I would have met Mike Tyson and chilled out with them because that Judah was cool with me,
Yeah.
yo. I had a Super Judah, and I left it in Florida. Pero, man,
A lot of good boxing, a
Fernando
lot of good
Vargas,
boxing memories, huh?
huh?
You have. I remember.
Man, do I? Teddy
I remember.
Man. There was a guy named Teddy
Yeah.
Man, Irish dude,
Yeah.
redheaded, and he was a good fighter, yo. And they tried to get. I don't know what happened before I met him, but he was a good fighter. But then he like washed away. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of man. Look, a lot of. Tell me what you thinking. What were you just gonna say?
Well, you sound like my pops, right? Like my dad was like always down in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He was around like Don King, Bob Arum, and all these dudes. And my dad would have like he'd be in that circle. And I was young. And he was always trying to teach me and talk to me. And now, as I do this podcast, there's days that I remember stories he told me or fights because I would hear him talking about them, you know. And my dad's passion for boxing, it was like that's the only way I could have a conversation with the man. I had to talk boxing with him, you know. And
Right.
you know, I miss my dad now because I miss sitting down talking to him about boxing. I wish he was here and he would have saw what I've built here and stuff because I would he could tell you a lot of stories, man, down there in Atlantic City, New Jersey. You know, and as well, my brother's roommate, Jose Rivera, that became the champion, the WBO champion, he was signed to Don King. When Don King came down here and
Nice.
shit, yeah. And that's how I know a lot of these guys because unfortunately I speak the truth on my channel. I tell everybody I'm the definition of wasted talent. I allowed the streets to take me away. You know, it was
There's a lot of
it
us
was
like
tough.
that.
It was tough carrying that book bag, being broke, and my parents weren't doing too good. And these guys had gold chains and big inch rims and shit, and the women and stuff. And then I fought one time and came out in the newspaper, and all the girls in the neighborhood were like, "Oh, you came out in the newspaper!" And
Yeah.
I thought I made it right then and there. 14 years old, I was the shit, right? And that got to my head, and I got into a lot of street fights. I got kicked out of the gym, and so forth and so forth. And that's been my life. I just a lot of bad decisions, but it's never it's never too late to reinvent yourself and to give back to the sport we love, you know?
And let me tell you something. Um, until you step in that ring, until you step into that ring in a real competition,
Yeah.
listen, man, that sparring not easy either,
Nah,
man.
not even.
Listen, that's why I hate when these guys talk. When they talk and they never put a pair of gloves on, bro, they don't know what it's
Nah, they
like,
don't know
bro.
nothing.
They don't know what it's like.
They don't know what it's like. They think.
Listen, when I fought in Joe Frazier's the Golden Girls in '87, there was the guy I was gonna fight was over there hitting the pad. I told Hassan, yo, because there's a fight going on and you gotta wait for you to get in the ring right next. You know, you're on the sideline.
Right.
So I see the kid hitting the pad, and his trainer got USA ABF, and I'm dressed in a pair of a gray Adidas tank top, black and white Everlast trunks, and a pair of white Tiger wrestling boots. I'm like, what the fuck for, yo? Yo, I go in the ring.
Our gym was so poor, Ionic Boys Club, right? We used to have to switch shirts after a guy would fight. He would come, he would have sweat on it. And I'd be praying that he knock him out in the first round. Hurry up,
Right,
because
right.
we didn't have equipment. And our coach Carlos Garcia, he was an amazing coach, and él no ponía apuesta, but he wouldn't tell us. And he would have Bobby in the audience putting bets with dudes, and then he would tell us
Oh,
he would
shit.
always bet on us though. He would
In
yeah,
Massachusetts, in
in the
Massachusetts,
boys
right?
club, and he would come to me and go. One time he came to me, I swear on everything I love, bro. Carlos, you know it, coach. He said, Edwin, I need you to fight with only your left hand. You can't throw your right. The whole fight, 3 rounds. And he said, but you gotta win. You gotta win the fight, but you can only fight with your left hand. Bro,
Oh,
you don't know what it's like. I got people that know how I fight. They're yelling at me from the ring, from outside, sitting down. Throw the right, Edwin. Y yo, mira, boom, pa, bing, pa, moving, bing, pa, pa. You know what I'm saying? And I just kept moving, bing, bing, bing. 3 rounds, I fought the fight. I won the boys club $500. He took us the next day. He got me the color hand wraps I wanted, the mouthpiece that fit my mouth.
wow.
He got us two headgear things, straps that we needed. He got us that. The gear was expensive, but Carlos, every dime we got, he was honest with us. He was like, "We're doing two things. We're doing two things, kids." And like we would come in, there was only 8 of us.
Wow.
And like all the other teams had like 16 fighters, and the coach of the night award would go to the guys with the bigger fighting thing. But out of our 8 guys, like 7 of us would win, or sometime all 8. And then Carlos would go, "We're going to McDonald's. We're going to McDonald's." You know what I mean? He would take us kids. So
Wow.
those were things I remember and I treasure. You know, I treasure those
So,
moments, you know, that there was some people there. But and then when funding in the city got cut, y quitaron el boys club. That's when most of us got lost to the street. Those years.
why didn't they make a PAL? Why didn't they make a Police Athletic League?
Back then, they dragged their feet with making the new boys club. It took almost 2 to 3 years, and they lost mad kids from the boys club to the streets in those years, especially me,
That happened. That
because the
sucks,
government
man.
cut
That
funding in our
sucks.
neighborhood.
You know who touched me? What story touched me? That kid from Chicago. What was his name? The kid from Chicago that had his friend killed. Uh, uh, um, he fought, man. He was pretty good. He would have good fights. The kid from Chicago, man, and his friend was killed. His best friend from the gym. But that happens a
A
lot,
lot.
man. A
It
lot of people
happens
go
in my
to the
gym.
streets,
How many
man.
best friends are in the gym? Look at Tank Davis's friends in Baltimore. A lot of his friends got killed. You know, I
Yeah,
buried 16 of
yeah.
my friends. You know, these streets.
Wow,
Yeah.
16?
Well, I stopped counting at 16. Yeah, I did.
Jesus. I got cousins that live in Massachusetts. My aunt, my mom's sister lived there. My cousin Jenny, Joselito, they all live in
Oh yeah.
Massachusetts, yo. Um, but listen, when I was that fight that I had, the first round of the Golden Gloves and Joe Frazier, the 87
Yep.
Pennsylvania.
Sorry. Can you see the pantalla?
I can see
Okay.
you. I can see the
The,
I can see that picture. Ah, the jab, the left jab.
that's me right there throwing the
That
left
was that
jab,
fight.
baby. That's me right there.
Was that
Huh?
fight? That was that fight. Was that fight?
That's the Golden Glove fight. That's the night in the Golden Gloves in Springfield right there. That fight.
But that's not the one where you only had to throw the left, right?
No, that's not the fight.
What year was that?
Damn, I forget what you.
Man, I don't even have that one picture.
No.
I don't have that one picture. I don't have no more trophies.
Yo,
nothing.
The
going on,
reason
bro.
why I share that picture, right? Because I also wanted to share with you.
It's nice.
I want to share with you. Don't you know that one of my subscribers went to the library in Springfield and found that picture for me? I didn't have that picture.
Wow.
A loyal
Wow.
subscriber in my thing. I told him about my boxing story, and he says, "Yeah, I go down
Right.
there. I'm always looking at the archive." He said, "Tell me the year." I said, "Man, I don't even know what year it was." He said, "Well, then tell me your name." I told him my name. I told him the dude I fought. It took a while, and he found it. I couldn't believe it, bro. I was so happy. Yo, I lost that picture in a fire in a house.
Wow.
The original picture that the newspaper dude gave to my mother
Right.
burned down in my house. I have none of my trophies. I don't got nothing from back then.
Wow, it sucks,
Yeah, I
right?
wish I had
It
that
sucks.
shit. Yeah, brother. Yeah, absolutely. Mira, papi, so thank you for tuning in, man, and coming in and sharing some boxing stories with me. I always love. Listen, don't ever stop coming by. I want you to come by.
No, I gotta tell you more. But real quick,
Okay, come on, tell me one more.
The 87 goal was my first fight of the tournament where that Moreno was hitting the mitts and everything with his coach. So I went in there. Tyrone Frazier and Marvin Frazier were there. And I went into the first round. I threw a jab. The Moreno counter punched me with like 10 punches. I buckled. The referee gave me an 8 count, 1 8 count.
Wow.
The crowd's kill him. I went back and threw another jab. I'm looking for my father in the first 8 count. I see my brother Steven against the wall with a bunch of girls, right? Because my brother's pretty boy. But so then I went back out there, another standing 8 count. 2 standing 8 count. The crowd telling him to kill me. I grab him. The bell rings. I go to my corner. Hassan had to be removed, my trainer. They brought another trainer in. The trainer, that kid, that 150 pounder that I sparred and took out. Yo, S- Second round, I was used to professional style. Okay, that's why second round came and Moreno ran out of gas, and I was running in snow knee high. Yo, I beat him. I beat him so bad, and I had fight of the night
Nice.
that night.
Nice.
And then the second time with the Puerto Rican guy, they had me in their office. Marvin Frazier, look, Marvin Frazier had me in his dad's office because his father was in Canada with Bert Cooper was fighting in Canada. So they took me to the dad's office. They gave me a pair of trunks because I painted my boots light blue and yellow.
Yeah.
They gave me a pair of trunks to match them
Yeah.
boots, yo. I was like, what?
Ah,
But I couldn't keep them. I couldn't keep the
yeah.
trunk. But then that's when I got robbed by 1 point. But I want to let you
Yeah,
go,
man.
brother.
Listen,
Um,
thank you for tuning in. I always love sitting down talking boxing, especially boxing stories from back in the day. My wife is calling me right now, and I want to read up on
yeah,
these chats and give a couple of people a couple opportunities. But Puppy, you're always welcome here. Come talk boxing stories with me anytime. All right,
yes,
Puppy.
I got a lot
Listen,
more.
love your man, love your energy. Stop by. Let the people know your name. Let the people know your name. El nombre.
And Julio Alvarez Jr. Julio Alvarez Jr. Instagram. I don't really don't
Right,
have a
right.
page. I think it's Julio Alvarez Jr. 7777. I
Uh,
think, but there
all
ain't
right,
nothing.
Julio.
And there's a picture of my
All
car
right, just in
and
case
me.
if you had an Instagram or anything, if you did, but if you don't, that's okay. But I enjoy your company here at Round One Sports Zone.
God bless you,
God bless
brother.
you, brother, and thank you
And
for stopping by.
keep keep up keep up with
I
the
will.
show.
I will. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You'll see me. You'll see
All
me on the
right, brother.
Boxing Voice too. I'm going back on too.
God
God
bless
bless
you.
you.
Tell Ness you tell Ness I
All
love
right.
him,
All right.
man.
I'll let him know that
But to keep it up.
Julio.
Te quiere mucho. Te quiere
Yeah.
mucho.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I love
he
that.
at least he backs me up. You know what I'm saying? He don't stay quiet.
Right. Oh, I get mad. I get mad, yo. You don't know, I get mad, bro.
Yeah.
You, I like to see them guys in person, yo.
Yo, you
Yo,
can't
for
take it
real.
personal. Love you, brother. Take care of yourself. Have a
God
good
bless
night.
you. Okay, brother.
Woo! Oh, what an interview. That was an amazing interview right there with an OG. You could see he had a lot of boxing insight, a lot of boxing stories. We were both a little over the place because we're both meeting each other for the first time and we want to tell each story. It's kind of like my dad and shit, right? Like he likes to, but um, I know he'll come back on and we'll get familiar with each other. And I always like to hear like those boxing stories back in the days, man. The Zabzuda days, the Mike Tyson era, Hector Camacho era. Those were my kind of eras. Those were the men that I grew up watching. Um, you know, um, I was a little bit young when the Four Horsemen era was starting to fade out, and what my era really was the Mike Tyson, Felix Trinidad, um, Julio Cesar Chavez, Oscar De La Hoya. That was my era. That was the era that I was really like in the Floyd Mayweather era. Like that was, and then when I stopped watching boxing because of like Floyd Mayweather had retired and so forth and so forth, the Robert Garcias of the world. There was a lot of fighters, the Pernell Whitakers, the Sweepies, all it just the list goes on. Shane Mosley. I could be here all night just naming names. But that was my era. Then in this era right here, I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision. I was a spoiled boxing fan. I saw Roy Jones fight. I saw Bernard Hopkins fight. I seen all these guys fight, bro, live. And when you see these fights like that and you've watched these guys fight, it's not the same. But in order for me to enjoy and fall back in love with boxing, I had to stop comparing them to my guys. And I had to allow myself to see the fighters for who they are today. And that's how I fell in love with boxing once again. The one thing I used to do, the mistake I used to do, and I learned this from my father, would stop comparing the fighters of the old with what we have today. You'll never enjoy what you have in front of you if you don't let go of what's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure. My name is Edwin. I am always your host. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. I build a safe environment for all of us to come up here and talk boxing, no matter how small or insignificant you might think your question is. We'll hear you out here at Round One Sports Talk. We made an amazing platform. Love you guys. Love yourselves.